Tuesday, September 17, special board meeting to order. Mrs. Luton, please make note that all members of the board are present except for Jerry Lee. Sorry, you were up. Our unfinished business before us this evening for the special meeting is the item, our appointment to fill the Board of Education vacancy to serve until the April 5th, 2016 board election. So the floor is open for discussion, which it could be comments or questions regarding our process. And when all board members have had an opportunity to make comments, I will ask for a motion to nominate one of our finalists. And then after the motion and the second, again, we'll open the floor for anyone that has a final comment or would like to discuss the motion prior to our vote. So at this time, if anyone has any comments about our process to fill the vacancy, please jump in.
I was somewhat skeptical that that process would work, but it did, and I think it worked well. And I think there's ways we might, as we look back a month from now, that we might improve it. But overall, I think that process for a first time of working through that whole thing, we came up with three excellent candidates. So I don't know how it could have been much better. But,
Thank you.
Pleased.
I think it's a great sign that we received 19 applications. I'm very, very pleased. I think it speaks well for the administration and the image of the school and what's happening, and the fact that people want to be involved, and it's exciting. And I don't know how you get any better than that. And pleased to have quite a number of qualified people who could have been very big components of our school board.
Yeah, I think we put a policy to the test, and I think it got a C. It passed, but I think that on our to-do list is to clean up the policy a little bit, make some things that were less clear more clear. And I didn't expect to come on the board being given the responsibility of selecting other board members, and so I will confess to a good deal of anxiety about being put in this place. So I don't know that we can get around that or keep that from happening again in the event that this was to repeat itself. But I do think the policy needs a little bit of grooming.
Okay, very good. Anything else? I might conclude our discussion by, I have found that you look at a policy a little differently when you have to live it, and we have lived every step of this policy, and I do believe it. I hope that we'll make just a few revisions to help future board members, should this occur again, to make life a little easier for them, because I'm sure each one of us can probably count, or I don't know if we can count, but we certainly know the time. This is our third special meeting to address this, plus all the time we've spent thinking, and I don't know about the rest of you, but reviewing our meetings and reviewing comments and reviewing our interviews, leading us to this decision. So I think that's something that'll just help us as we look forward and we look at any policies to be revised, to keep in mind, what if we have to be able to live with all the pieces and parts of this policy and make them as clear as possible for anyone that has to implement, or anyone implementing, putting that in place. So with that, and if there's no other comments, do I have a motion to nominate one of our finalists for this vacancy?
May I make comments with my motion?
I thought what we would do is make, sure, absolutely, go ahead. Yes, that is a yes.
She knows better than to tell me not to talk.
Yeah.
I'm just it is a hard decision, and yet I think there is an appropriate way to move forward in this particular situation. I just want everybody to know that there won't be just one position open, Francine's, come April. Mine will also be open. I will not be running again. So that does give 2 spots for people to, for chances. And I feel comfortable with that, seeing the quality of the applications we've had before. And I'm more comfortable now moving forward, knowing that that there's room for more than one person to be successful. So just want to let people know that. Where we are now and knowing that there's, 6 months or less for someone to be here, I would say, in my point of view, that Jean Twitty would be the logical one simply because, not simply because, but because of her depth of experience, her knowledge of what's happening, and the fact that she can come on board quickly and continue to move us ahead. I also think it would be difficult for somebody new not only to come on the board, but also run a campaign and also do everything it takes to get up to speed. So I'm comfortable nominating Jean Twitty, who brings a great deal of experience and expertise.
I second the motion.
Okay, so at this time, we have a motion that the board, in a second, that the board will approve Jean Twitty to fill the board vacancy created by the resignation of Francine Pratt. I would like to, before we vote, if anyone else has any comments that they would like to add at this time. And again, I think I've already said this was a very difficult process, very challenging, and we all, I know I spent a great deal, and I assume everyone else spent a great deal of time thinking this through, and am looking for that person that can step on and keep up with us as we keep up with our administration over the next 7 meetings, I think is what we have left. That's all I have to say. Tim, do you need to say?
Yeah, I do have one thing to say, Denise, thanks. Is that I'll vote yes on this, and what it finally came down to me was we had 3 great people on the short list. I think we had other people who didn't make the short list that were also people that I would like to see, I would like for the voters to consider next April. The thing that did it for me, though, was that very thing about us voting someone in versus the voters. And Jean has been voted in by voters. She is the one person that we've considered that the voters have already approved at least once, and so I feel most comfortable supporting her for that reason, and I will do so.
Thank you. Jill?
The only other thing I wanted to add, in addition, I know we all have spent a lot of time thinking about this vote and this choice, and I appreciate and agree with the things that have been said. The only other thing I can add from personal experience is I am very glad that I came and watched 6 meetings before I was elected and didn't just try to arrive on the scene. And so that, I think, I have that experience of having appreciated that opportunity, and we would be denying that to people other than Jean. So that, I think, influences my decision as well.
Okay, Bruce?
Well, it was just important to me to know we're appointing somebody for 7 meetings. I mean, it doesn't matter who we appoint, if they're gonna stay on the board, they have to be elected again in April. So if we wanted, I think the board wanted 7 members, and they wanted someone who could be effective in those 7 meetings. And just based on Jean's experience, that to me was the difference. Not that all 3 couldn't have brought unique perspectives which would be valuable to us, but she's the only one with the experience.
Okay, very good. So any other comments? So at this time, we have a motion and a second, and so we will vote.
It's not coming up. You
I
can-
did, I voted, I think I voted.
Yes, you can vote for me, but it's not coming up, so it will have to be you.
Did,
Always count me in on my own motions.
There they are.
There it is. Okay, so motion carries, and at this time, we need a motion to adjourn the special meeting.
So move.
Thank you, Tim Rosenberry. A second?
Second?
And we need to vote? Yes. Do we vote? Yes.
Put it to the test the second time.
I guess I did.
That's better than me, is being ignored by the voting gods. Can you vote me in? Yes, please.
Yes.
We're not gonna have a good night if this is how I'm gonna be treated. Hey, mine says F. Pratt.
Okay, and we have a majority vote. Thank you very much, and at this time, the special meeting is adjourned, and we will see you back. Hopefully, you'll join us in about less than 20 minutes. Thank you.